Welcome to Talk Dirt to Me, where two farmers shatter myths and take on the top issues facing America's farmers. Here's your hosts, Logan and Bobby Lee.
Good evening, everybody.
Yep. Howdy. Good evening. Good morning.
I guess I should say good morning because we get a bunch of listeners first thing in the morning, as soon as it drops.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. Whatever time you're listening.
Just good day.
We're just glad you're listening. I don't care what time you listen. Yeah, it could be dead of night. What's been going on?
Man, we sold all our calves this week. I say all of them.
Sunday. Did you do that Sunday?
Well, we shipped them Sunday morning and early. I was back home by I think 8:30, and that was loaded mine. Then we went out and drove across the county to the wrong side of the county to my brother's place and loaded his. And I had guests in town at my house. I was like, guys, I'm sorry, but I got.
Well, they probably weren't up that early, much earlier than that, were they?
Yeah, I left the house about 5. I was catching mine before daylight because the truck was there at 5:30.
Yeah.
Took longer to load mine than it should have, which I had. We shipped 72 from my place, and my brother just had 29, I think. We loaded my brother's in 8 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it was because I was filming it, and he was like, I didn't know how long it took us when I was going back and editing it. I just had one camera looking at the truck. I was like, yeah, from the time the first one walked on until we rolled the door down on the left, 8 minutes.
That's pretty good right there.
Yeah, I had, 2.5 times that many, 3 times that many? No, not 3 times, 2.5. Yeah, it took us a lot longer than 20 minutes or whatever that would have been to load mine. I got to make some modifications on my loadout if we're going to keep doing it. But I haven't got my check yet for a full breakdown, but I did call and kind of get my totals. I'm like, okay, I should have some money to do that. Yeah, we did pretty well.
Nice.
Best I have ever done on them. My brother did real good like 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
And so he probably, I don't know if he quite beat that year, but yeah. And yeah, we did it in about half the time. We normally keep them all the way into the fall. And so I don't know, now we're probably going to turn around and buy some more. I don't know if I had to say right now, maybe like middle of September. Let it start to cool off just a little bit, maybe.
Are you going to feed them through winter?
We'll probably see. We kept these about 120 days, right at 4 months. That if we kept them the same amount of time, that'd put us right after the first of the year. But,
yeah.
I don't know. My hay situation will depend on that a little bit, which that's the other thing I did today. I got the last of my hay moved out of the field and home from my first cutting, and yeah, it's always dangerous to say, oh yeah, we're gonna have plenty of hay because you don't ever know.
Yep.
Second cutting's usually real good. By the time we get to the third one, especially as late as we were getting the first one off, yeah, you might only get about a half yield.
Yeah. Man, I wish I had about 200 head of cattle to sell right now.
Yeah, they're high. It was good, and market was good. Market took a little dip last week, I guess, when they announced they were opening the border again.
Yeah.
But it took a dip for like a day, and then it came right back. And so, yeah, cattle market's good.
It is. Yes, it is. So,
what about what you been up to besides? I know you've been at the farm store, because heck, I've been in there a couple of days that y'all been open.
Yeah, well, man, we did open. We canned our kraut. We had 118 jars of kraut. We opened up this past weekend for the 4th of July, and I've got about 30 jars of kraut left. So, kraut just goes like crack. And
I got one. I'm planning on making Reubens. I got to come up with a keto-friendly option for me to not eat a bunch of rye bread, but
that Dave's Crazy Bread or whatever, he might make something like that.
Yeah, or you could, they make a lot of people.
You can't splurge, have one sandwich.
Man, there's just a lot of carbs in bread. Bread and pasta are two things I just do not do anymore.
Yeah, man, I love both.
Like if we go to a restaurant, like I'll pinch off a little pinch of the roll and
you just sniff it.
Well, I don't
and
even
then put it down.
But yeah, have you ever seen the chaffles or heard of people that make chaffles?
Chaffles. What kind of waffle is that?
It's like it's a keto nerd thing. It's basically like eggs and cheese, and some people put like some almond flour in it.
I don't know that I have.
I've even heard of people taking like pork rinds and grinding them up.
All right, I have seen some stuff with that.
Where they and then you put it in a waffle maker, and and it kind of has similar consistency to bread.
But it just don't taste like a waffle.
No, it and it really doesn't even taste like eggs, really. But of course, there's no. Well, I guess you get a little carbs from the cheese, but yeah, the eggs all protein, and you can make you like a little bun out of that. But I used to do that for burgers every now and then. Now I'm like, I just eat my burger with a fork.
I'll eat actually grilled us burgers tonight, but I ate them on buns. But I sometimes I'll just not eat them on a bun. I like just a burger.
We eat burgers all the time. Yeah, the kids eat buns, and sometimes my wife does, but most of the time neither one of us eats any bread.
None of them eat buns. I'm the only one that eats buns.
Really?
Yeah.
They just eat the meat. They're your little carnivores.
They are. They want just the meat. And they were actually mad at me tonight because I said, I'm going to go get burger. I said, I'm just going to go get some hamburger meat because I was trying to think of what we were going to eat. Because I sprayed. That's what today we planted pumpkins Sunday. And got out there. We planted about 1.5 acre pumpkin patch. And then I planted about 1 acre or a little less of a popcorn ornamental corn patch.
Okay.
And
like the Indian corn kind
of thing. That cool red looking corn. And so I made a major boo-boo today, which is just par for the course. I have like accepted that this year is just an absolute shit sandwich. Like if anything is gonna go wrong, it's gonna happen this year. And so I told my wife, and she was like, that's not true. I told her, I said, I think God's like, I'm going to finish that fucker off this year. And so, my wife's like, that is not true. And so, anyways, the pumpkins, we planted them Sunday. Yesterday, the weather, it was going to rain. And so I was like, all right, I was going to spray everything yesterday. I got the little 25-gallon sprayer on my side-by-side. And I got out there. I don't remember what we had to do earlier in the day. I had something I had to go do. I don't remember if I had to go pick up chicken feed or what I had to do. But anyways, I was tied up for a little bit. Well, then when I got free, it's like, all right, I'll have time. I'll run, get the sprayer set up, and then I'll run out. And I was going to actually replant some beans. I got about 8 acres of beans I'm going to replant. Well, I get out there in my little sprayer, and, on the pumpkins are really particular. Like, you can't just spray a lot of stuff over them. But I was like, I'll get in there before they come up. So I was going to spray Command, which you probably ain't ever. Have you ever messed with Command?
No.
It's basically used to be a really, I think from my understanding, it was a really prominent cotton herbicide, and it turns everything white. But Command, Dual or Metal, and then Roundup, and that was going to be I was going to spray that. So it was basically the Roundup. I had tilled this ground up, but the Roundup would kind of just kill any grass that survived. And then the Metal and then the Command were both pre-emerges. And then you can actually spray clethodim over the top of pumpkins once they come up for grass. But I was going to jump in there and spray that. And again, I put Roundup in it. Well, my damn sprayer wouldn't prime up. Like, I tried to prime that thing up. I tried to prime it up for, I bet you I messed with that thing for 2.5 to 3 hours. And I was taking off hoses, pumping water in with a water hose, spraying it. I mean, I said every word under the sun to try to speak it into working, and hit it with a hammer. I took the pump apart, put it back together. It would not prime. So it was one of those little like 12 volt, 4.5 gallon per minute pumps or whatever. So I ran to Tractor Supply and I bought another pump. And by the time I got back, I got the pump put on and it was working. And then it just started pouring down rain. So I didn't get to spray yesterday. And I was like, well, it's still all right. I planted them Sunday. In my mind, I'm like, Thursday or Friday, the pumpkins will be coming up. And so I got out there today. And Levi and Emerson were both with me. And I mixed up my stuff. I was pumped up. I got over there. And I had a little bit of like some sickle pod and crap that had started kind of coming up. And I'm like, that's all right. I'll get it with all this stuff. And so I was spraying, and I mean, it was super muddy. This is where my side-by-side is kind of like overkill. I bought it back in the COVID crap when you basically couldn't find a side-by-side. So it's the XMR. It's an HD10 Can-Am. And the XMR is Extreme Mud Racer. So it's got like these insanely aggressive mud tires. It's lifted. And I asked the guys, like, do I have to? It even has snorkels on it. And I was like, can I get all that taken off? And he was like, no, man, that's just part of the package. I'm like, all right. Well, I'm glad it's on there because, dude, today I was clawing through mud, like cutting ruts probably 8 inches deep in the field, but I had to get it sprayed. Well, I have sprayed almost the whole thing. And as I pulled in there and was spraying, I saw something that looked kind of like a pumpkin, but I was like, nah, that can't be a pumpkin already. And so I like dismissed it. And so I just sprayed. And then as I was finishing up spraying, I noticed it's rained so much, it's hard to tell where we had like padded I could see, I actually ran rows with the 4-row planter, and then we planted down them and we would skip 2. And so I could see where we had like tamped the seed, and clear as damn day, it was a pumpkin. And it was like the 2 leaves out, it was completely up, and I sprayed. It's no telling how many of them I had sprayed.
Yeah.
And I mean, not all of them were up, but like I saw one and I was like, oh shit. And I like turned the sprayer off. I drove past that. There wasn't one in the next several spots. So I like flipped it back on, and then it was another one, and then it'd be another one. And so I'm like, I don't know. I told Marcy, I said, I don't know how many I sprayed, but any of them that were up like that I sprayed, oh, they'll be dead as a doornail. So now I'm gonna have to see, once everything dies, I'm gonna have to go in there and like spot plant seeds. So I don't know. And the corn was up, man. It was an inch tall. Like, it's crazy how fast all that stuff came up, but it's been so hot.
Well, on that corn, can you pop it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we actually popped some of the night. We got some whole cobs of popcorn.
That's what I'm gonna do with these.
That, yeah.
I think any of the ornamental corn you can pop.
Yeah.
Now I've got one variety that's actually just straight popcorn. Like, it's called like Top Pop or something, and it's like, it is just for popcorn, and it looks like little popcorn kernels. And my plan with it in the fall is, get it and dry it down. And I think we'll just put the whole ear in a bag.
Yeah.
And you just put the whole thing in the microwave.
Yeah.
And they like pop off.
Yeah.
But the ornamental corn is something red. It's like a red variety, and I think you can pop it.
Yeah.
So
the one we popped the other night for the kids, like red.
Was it pretty good?
Red or purple. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we've done it before. Yeah.
Well, it was just a shit show. After I saw the pumpkin was up, I was like, God dang it. And like, this just par for the damn course this year. That's what I talked to one of my seed reps later. I had called him because I sprayed Prowl. Have you ever sprayed Prowl?
No, but I'm familiar with Prowl.
It is the nastiest stuff I've ever sprayed. Yeah, it looks like mustard.
Yeah.
And it like gets on you. Like, you could be insanely careful with it, because that corn is not GM. It's non-GMO. I've never messed with any corn like this. Like, it's not Roundup ready.
Yeah.
Or I lied. All corn is GMO corn, because otherwise it'd just be a little strand of grass. But this is like conventional corn or whatever.
Yeah.
So I had to spray stuff I've never used before. Or I actually, I don't know that I've ever sprayed Prowl. But I sprayed it, and man, it's nasty stuff. But when the rep called me, I was going to verify the ounces, and he called me later after I'd already sprayed. And I told him that I sprayed a bunch of pumpkins that were up. And he just goes, damn, man, you just can't win for losing. I said, I swear I can't. I was like, I can't. So.
Well, that's what I planted a little food plot for my little duck hole on Sunday. And I checked it today, and I got a bunch of millet that's already up.
Some brown millet or something?
Some Japanese millet, yeah. It which
Did you just sow it, or how'd you do it?
I dissed the heck out of it. I dissed it probably 3 times. I mean, it's like a quarter of an acre.
Yeah.
Maybe between a quarter and a half acre. And then I just broadcast it, and then I drug a hair over it.
You got a spreader or something that you go on?
I did it with a little hand.
Yeah, the bag.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
And it was it. It was something like the little gears inside of it aren't. So it was kind of a shit show too. But I mean, it's for a duck hole. I mean, I'm like, hell,
yeah.
If I have an uneven stand, whatever.
The ducks ain't gonna be like.
I know I'm gonna have a bunch of grass come up too.
Oh yeah.
I should have sprayed it first, probably before I dissed it, or.
I don't even know brown millet. I'm not sure what you could use.
Well, and I got some buckwheat in there too. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what you would use. Well, then, did you do it pretty thick? If you got it pretty thick, it may choke out a lot of the grass.
Yeah. Oh, in
It'll come
spots,
up.
it's thick as hell. It's like hair on a dog's back.
Did you spray like Roundup or anything after you sowed it?
No.
Yeah.
No. It was just kind of like, all right, I got to get this done while because it's obviously it's a duck hole, so it's in a low spot.
Yeah.
It stays pretty damn wet anyway, so.
Yeah. Well, before we get in too deep, guys, there's y'all's kind of update. But we got to do a couple of things. First, we need you to leave us a rating and review. Hey, Spotify, they got us to 400. I looked, we're at 400
Good
ratings.
deal.
I'm pumped. Feel like we're like one of the big guys. Next goal will be 1,000. Get to 1,000. But appreciate y'all getting us to 400 5-star. I think some people gave us 4.8s. We got like a 4.9 or something rating.
Yeah.
But that's all right. But we appreciate y'all getting us to the 400. Apple guys, y'all come on. Everybody, just leave us 5-star rating. If you're watching this on YouTube or Rumble, leave us a comment below. Hit that like button, hit subscribe, and let us know what you think of the episode. Go to talkdirtpodcast.com, contact page. Submit your questions on there. You know, we'd love our questions. We had a couple people write in, and one of them wrote in and was like, man, I've thought about writing in, and I keep hesitating to. Man, don't, write in. We love the questions, and if you just want to write in, tell us something. That's fine with me. Do that, and what else do I need to do?
You'll need to go to agsaga.com. Logan may need to as well. Get him one of those ag sprayers.
I told Marcy, I was like, I need to get one of those. I said, we're literally sponsored by a place that has much better sprayers than what I got.
I've got one of theirs. The Ag Spray brand. That, along with a billion other cool things. The discount code is TalkDirt20. You get $20 off that $50 minimum order and free shipping. You won't beat it. Just go check them out.
Yep, do that. So a lot of stuff has kind of gone down over the last few days. I'll tell you one non-ag related thing. I want to talk about this real quick. Man, look, people that have been listening to this show for a long time, they know we're about as conservative-minded individuals as a guy can be. But I'm gonna tell you what, I've been a little irked today. Did you see where Trump dismissed the Epstein file stuff?
I had seen just through my social media that apparently they're like, there are no files.
Yeah, they're like, there's nothing, there's no evidence. And now, like, people are, Tucker Carlson and some of them are like, damn, I owe an apology to Jeffrey Epstein. All this time I thought he was like a human trafficking sick bastard and he killed himself for nothing. Like, there's no evidence. And
well, yeah, I've seen a lot of people are like, why is Ghislaine Maxwell or however you
spending 20 years in prison?
Why is she in prison for, she was trafficking people to no one?
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's not, like, so then what's she guilty of?
Yeah. Well, and that's what frustrates me. And like the clip I saw, he's in a meeting, and I get like, hey man, there's a lot of stuff Trump's done that I have liked, but this was, and Trump dismissed it completely. And there, one of the reporters is like, hey, what about the Epstein files? The DOJ saying that there was basically nothing there, no names, and Trump's like, are you serious? Are you still talking about this guy? It's been years. You still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? He said, we got a lot of other things going on. And I understand, like, look, in the scale of importance, like for the country, obviously right now the Texas floodings and the kid thing, that just like kills me. Like, that has absolutely crushed me to even think about. And so that to me is like number one. And then, he's already got the shit storm in the Middle East going on, and he's kind of like having to deal with all this and that. So like, I understand in the importance factor, like, the Epstein files is pretty damn low on the totem pole, but at the same time, it was like one of the things that they ran on. Like, Trump and then even Don Jr. and a bunch of them, they were like, we got these files, we need to know whose damn names are on, we're going to release them. And like even Kash Patel, some of them were like, day one of this administration, we're going to release.
And I don't know, maybe there really is no, like, the files may not have the names. I don't know. Somebody made a good point, because a lot of people are like, it's because Trump's in the, like, if his name was in the files,
Democrats would have released that shit a long time ago.
And they wouldn't have even cared if they burned a lot of their own in the process, because I mean, everything was. I mean, they pulled out all the stops to try to keep him from getting back into office.
Yep.
And so they're like, if his name had been on there, they wouldn't have cared who else they were going to burn in the process. They would have released it.
Barack's name could have been in there, and they would have not. Yeah, they wouldn't have given a shit. They would have thrown anyone under the bus in order to burn Trump. So I agree on that. But my thing is, it's like,
well, were there files and they got destroyed? You know, I mean, I don't know. I don't put anything past, like, no conspiracy theory is, you can't dismiss anything. Not that I believe every conspiracy theory out there, but I don't think there's any conspiracy theory where I'm just like, nope, no chance. All of them, I'm like, well, maybe.
Yeah. Do you think Big Mike's a tranny?
I'm not sure.
I'm not either. I'm actually 100%. I'm like, I don't know.
Like, it wouldn't shock me if they covered that up. And, just because obviously that would have been probably would have been enough not to have gotten Barack elected. If that had ever come out. That would have been
pretty damning.
Or reelected.
At least for that time frame. We weren't as cool with that back then.
Oh yeah, well, that was the whole thing in 2008.
Even Barack was like against the gay marriage, I think, wasn't he?
All of them. Hillary, when she was running against Barack, like, they were all opposed to allowing gay marriage.
Yeah, Biden was like, come on, man. Two men can't be rubbing their wieners together. Mary, come on, man. What are you talking about?
But then that changed so much where now even the Republicans are like, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that flipped so quickly. But yeah, no, definitely. If it had, like, come out, like, during the campaign, which I can't remember, was it McCain and who's the fella from Wisconsin? Okay, I can picture Brian. Yeah. Paul Ryan.
Yeah.
McCain and Ryan. Yeah. If it had come out, a month before the election, that, wait a second, Barack is actually married to a man. That probably derails his chances of winning. I think he stomped McCain.
It wasn't McCain, it was Romney.
Romney, yeah.
Because I was sitting here, I'm like, man, it didn't sound right.
It was McCain. It was Romney.
Ryan.
Yeah, McCain ran with Palin.
Romney was the one that had, like, binders of women.
So I guess it was McCain Palin that ran in 2008, and then it was Romney Ryan that would have ran in 2012.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, McCain and Palin ran at some point.
That would have been. Yeah, I feel like they were before Romney Ryan.
They definitely were. Yeah, so that had to have been an 8.
And then Mitt was a big letdown later.
He was a terrible candidate.
Yeah, he's a rhino. Yeah, he's a rhino. But it's just, man, I don't know. It is a cesspool. Like, and I don't know what to think. Like, I like Thomas Massey, and he's just getting slaughtered. Like, the Republicans hate him.
Well, that's right, and that makes me like him even more.
Me too. I like him, and I like Rand Paul. Yeah. I mean, and I feel like they all hate them.
Those Kentucky libertarians.
Yeah, Kentucky they're doing all right, but unfortunately, their guys' voices just never go anywhere.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I don't know, man. The Epstein thing, I think this is a big boo-boo on Trump's part. I mean, he needs to address it more.
Yeah. Well, and he may be frustrated because, like, there's just, like, the files aren't there.
Yeah.
Or they're there, but there's no, I don't know.
Somebody online was like, well, Biden's team, if you wanted help, they're like, hell, for all we know, Biden's team cleaned the files. Like, I mean,
right.
They could have swiped out any names then, because, hell, it might have been a lot of their cronies. I mean, and from what what you hear, but I don't know, man. It's crazy. But, yeah, that's kind of what I saw today. And it has ticked a lot of people off at Trump, because the way he dismissed it. He was like, you're still talking about that years later? And it's like, well, yeah, hell yeah, we want to see the shit burn down.
Yeah.
Like, but there was a few things that have gone down. The first one here, okay, I got like a list I made in my phone. So, the farm labor thing has been like a huge thing right now with the people getting deported and stuff, which I did see where I think they're going to allow illegals, a certain number maybe of illegals that work for farms, to remain under like I don't know if they got to get a little visa deal or what, but they're kind of allowing that. But there's a ton of flack on this, but Secretary Rollins, she has put forth this suggestion for farms. And it's basically people that are able-bodied adults that are on Medicaid, which it said there's 34 million of them, could replace undocumented farm workers being deported under administration policy. It says this ties into upcoming Medicaid work requirements, requiring childless adults aged 18 to 64 to complete 80 hours a month of work or volunteering. I actually don't hate that.
Now, if you're able-bodied, like, well, yeah, why aren't you?
Yes, and that's me. And 18 to 64. I mean, like that. I don't feel like that's, and 80 hours a week. Or 80 hours a month. 80 hours a week that'd be hell yeah, man. No, 80 hours a month. Hell, that's only 20 hours a week.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's part time.
Yeah. This is what I've said I wish they would do on welfare. If you're an able-bodied person, like, if you can, they ought to do like a physical, and if you can pass the physical, then you should be able to go work. And I wish they would do that. And it says here, agriculture organizations, they have been widely disagreeing. It says 42% of U.S. farm laborers are undocumented, and many crop-picking jobs are too intricate for machines, because she also said that what they can't replace with Medicaid labor, they need to get like automation, robots and things like that. And there are some things, it says here, like picking strawberries. Some of on the produce side, there's not a lot of, there is some stuff. Can't say there's not a lot. Like, like I grow sweet corn down there. There's sweet corn pickers. A lot of them are like one-row pickers. There is pea pickers. And I'll tell you, if I ever have like a big patch of peas again, I'm going to probably have one. Because that picking peas, I told somebody picking peas, when we had Matt on, from the Veggie Boys, that's what I asked him. I was like, what is the worst thing for you to pick? And he was like, peas. Like, you're damn right. I hate picking peas, man.
Been over the whole time.
Oh man, the whole time. I told Marcy, I said, what I want to do, if we're gonna have like mini peas, I'm gonna build a platform that you lay on. And I've seen some farms have this. The guys are laying on their bellies, and it's like they're just easing, like the tractor is just easing through, and they're laying there picking. They got like, I don't know, a bag hanging or something that they're putting the stuff in. Because I'm like, man, it kills your back. So I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, which that may have been part of that press release or whatever they had. That was the farm security is national security thing.
Yeah.
I think one of the components in there was talking about
what you're talking about. Is this about them blocking China?
Yeah, one of the first things in there was blocking foreign land ownership.
Okay. All right, talk about that.
It had like 7 main points.
Talk about that, because there's actually something really interesting I want to say about that. You may cover it. I don't know if you covered in there.
Let me find.
As you guys know, we are an unscripted show. Like Bobby Lee and I, we sit down literally and are like, "You got topics?"
So it's the National Farm Security Action Plan.
Yeah.
Rollins and I believe Hedgeseth were at the press conference, or a little photo op together. Of course, this is like 12 pages long, but first point was secure and protect American farmland. Number 2 was enhance agricultural supply chain resilience. 3 is U.S. nutrition safety net must be protected from fraud, abuse, and foreign adversaries. Talking about basically the SNAP program being, fraudulent and people taking advantage of that.
Yep.
Enhance research security, evaluate USDA programs to ensure America First policies, safeguard plant and animal health, and number 7, protect critical infrastructure. Which one of the biggest things I've seen, kind of push back, amongst a lot of the cattle people and all, because that's kind of the tribe or whatever I'm in, like especially on X, is that they did this the same week that they reopened the border and safeguard plant and animal health. It's like, yeah, which is it, guys? Are we really that worried, or
are we going to keep this border open? We need that cheap.
But which I think, and that's a little off subject, but that there's just been a lot of pressure from like NCBA and the big corporate groups that they represent, more or less, to get the border reopened, because they want these cattle. And
which I find myself almost, man, I'm almost to the point where if the NCBA is in favor of it, I'm not in favor of it.
Yeah, there's about 80% of what they do is, I'm opposed to.
Yeah, bootlicking.
Well, and because I actually read another cool article today. I don't know that I have it right here where I can pull it up, but it was talking about the narco cattle trade.
Didn't we talk about that?
Well, I think we did mention it, but this one actually has some statistics and how many cattle are imported into Mexico out of Guatemala, and it specifically mentioned Guatemala, but in the percentage of them that come across legally versus illegally, it's like the vast majority. Like for every one that comes across and is, a documented import, there's like 8 times as many, and especially with cattle prices where they are, the narcos, everybody associates them with, the drug trade, but really they're, no matter if it's human trafficking, beef cattle, whatever they can make some money on.
Yeah,
they're interested in, and it's not that hard for them to get cattle smuggled in across that, Mexico Guatemala border, and a lot of those make it up here.
Yeah,
and I don't know that they reopened one port of entry on the 7th, so this past Monday. I think for like the next 4 or 5 weeks, there's a new one open. I don't know if that gets us to like full import capacity, or at least I'm sure it's probably not at full capacity. But if that's all the ports that'll be open, but supposedly they're going to be like super inspected and dipped to be sure they're not bringing screwworm with them, which I don't know. I mean, obviously the screwworm fly, it could get up here without cattle necessarily bringing it across the border, obviously.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's like we don't absolutely have to have those cattle. I know the big corporate groups think they
want
do.
that cheap beef, man.
Yep.
And have it cheap.
And but I think they said there's 23 cases in people in Mexico, and I think 13 of them are still hospitalized.
Dang.
Like it's not just cattle that we're worried about. It'll be. Well, I've heard people talk about it'll be devastating for obviously, like the deer hunting industry in Texas is like, I forget how much money, and like it could wreck that even. You know? South Texas especially is known as like, whitetail mecca. They massive deer. There's a huge number of people that travel to that part of the country every year and boost those local economies. Like that could be devastated by this too.
So then I need to start basically get in with cartels and sell cattle with them. I wonder what how much they'd pay like to be a mule, like to haul cattle for them.
Yeah, I bet it'd be pretty hard to get cattle across the U.S.-Mexico border.
Yeah.
But you could go down, you could be one, getting them across the Guatemalan border.
Do you ever got a part of you? I feel like every man, maybe not every man, but a lot of men, I know myself, you got like 2, I'm torn. I've told Marcy this. We're talking about it. She's like, you're an idiot. But I'm like, I'm torn. Sometimes I just want to be an outlaw. You just want to be a damn outlaw. Like I'll read, every now and then I'll nerd out on the mafia stuff. And, like my old show when I had Jay Dobbins on, he was the guy, he went undercover with the Hells Angels. And I'm like, man, and I'll see the motorcycle gangs kind of, like I was going through Munford one day and the Outlaws all came through Munford, like on Highway 51. It was a big group of them. And I think it said the Outlaws. And I looked them up and they were a 1%er. And it's like them and the Hells Angels, I think, are the most prominent, like in our area. And I think Knoxville has quite a bit of Hells Angels. But like, there's a part of me, man, it's like, man, I don't know. Like, every now and then, I'm obviously not going to a married man. I'm a Christian, I got kids. Like, not going to go be like a bad guy. But, every now and then I'm like, shit, I just would like to be a bad son of a bitch and be like...
Yeah, you don't want to do anything that's like going to hurt people. But
no. Running whiskey. I've always thought it'd been so cool to be like a moonshiner back in the day in Prohibition.
Blasting some Copperhead Road.
Yeah, man, going through there, and like having the old, the old Dodge that you and your uncle's old Dodge that you done.
That engine down.
Yeah. And man, just I don't know, man. It's something. Do you have that internal thought sometimes? Like, damn, I'd just love to be like an outlaw sometimes.
I mean, I'm a.
You already don't buy tags.
No, all my vehicles are registered currently. Well, yeah, man. Hell, I went to school at University of Tennessee. I bleed orange. Hell, Rocky Top. A song about
Isn't it about
once two strangers climbed old Rocky Top looking for a moonshine steel.
Yeah.
Strangers ain't come down from Rocky Top. Reckon they never will.
Yeah.
It's talking about two feds going up there trying to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I never knew what it was about. I thought it was moonshining, but I didn't know.
Yeah, the two strangers that climbed old Rocky Top looking for a moonshine steel.
So the feds got blasted.
Yeah, in that version, yep.
Man, okay.
Yep.
So I've never known that. But I do, man. And that's how I am.
Corn won't grow at all on Rocky Top. Dirt's too rocky by far.
Yeah.
That's why all the folks on Rocky Top get their corn from a jar.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was moonshine and something.
Oh, yeah, it's 100%.
But I just think it'd be fun. Like, there's a part of me that's like, man, it'd be exhilarating. Like, if you were a single man, I've always said I'd love to interview a bank robber. I'm like, did you watch Heat? Did you ever watch it?
I never have. That's something I need to watch. I've watched a couple of movies here lately.
Well, put Heat on your list. And I want to read the book because apparently the books are really damn good.
I've heard that too, yeah.
But like Heat. Now, again, I got friends that are cops. I'm not on here like, yeah, I want to go shoot some cops. That's not what I'm saying. But in Heat, they rob a bank and you're just like, man, damn it, that'd be just. Could you imagine the adrenaline rush of like, I'm about to just.
Well,
like,
and you see it in movies all the time where it's like, all right, you're just getting into it just to get through hard times. You're not wanting to hurt anybody.
And I'm in a hard time financially on the farm, so I tell Marcy, I'm like, I might rob a bank.
Well, it's always like, all right, we're not gonna hurt anybody. Well, then you always end up like
blasting some civilian.
You end up shooting a cop or something.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh no, I didn't want.
Yeah, you get in too deep, man. I mean, I don't know. Like it's something. There's an inner part of me that's like, damn, I just want to
be like the friendly weed dealer.
Yes.
Like I'm not going to sell it to kids or anything.
See, and that's what I don't want to do. I don't want to sell drugs. As much as we joke about cocaine, I can honestly say on here, like, when I think about Outlaw, being like a street drug dealer is certainly not one of my like fantasies. Like now being like Scarface and having like the operation. And being like the guy that's like cutting up somebody with a chainsaw because he backstabbed you, like that part maybe, but but not the no. And I don't think I'd want to deal in drugs even if I were like a renegade because I mean all that shit is destruction. So I don't know which side I'd want to be on because I don't want to like ruin people's lives. I just want to be an outlaw.
Yeah.
So like that'd be such a dichotomy. Like, I wouldn't mind dealing in guns. I'd love to be like a Lord of War kind of guy. Like, oh, yeah, I can get you a sawed-off shotgun. You want an M60 belt fed? Hell, yeah, I'll hook you up with that thing. Like, That's kind of what I'd rather do.
Then the FBI will end up shooting your wife and
then say they never did.
Yeah.
And then the sniper will draw a picture showing that he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. For all of you people that don't know about Ruby Ridge, you need to go down that rabbit hole. There's why Talk Dirt to me is what it is, because you don't ever know what the hell we're going to talk about. On that security thing, one of the pushbacks people are given is they say on the foreign land or foreign entities owning U.S. farmland.
That's probably one of the big things that'll get a lot of, high fives from people.
Yes, and I mean, like, hey, I like it. But some people are saying that it's a non-issue because they said of farmland in the U.S., I think 3% of it is foreign-owned. Of that 3%, China owns like 1% or less. And so, and it says here, China owns 277,000 acres. And that sounds like a lot. But in the grand scheme of total U.S. farmland, that's like nothing. But now, look, I understand. Well, I'm not saying I'm for it. Like, I don't really want China owning anything in the United States.
Well, and they had a graphic up about the Chinese farmland, and it's like it's always near a military base. And I'm like, well, obviously we have a lot of military bases. I mean, is there something to that? Is it just coincidence? I'd love to see, more, kind of, I guess, investigation into that. Like, are they trying to own that land and then actually surveil, what we're doing, militarily or anything.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm that way that as well, and it's, again, I don't trust China at all. So I mean, hey, I'm all for basically being like, yeah, let's get China out of here, but at the same time, from a stat breakdown point, China owns basically nothing in the United States in terms of farmland. But I do understand. And, they mentioned Arkansas was the one that people think of with Syngenta, and I buy Syngenta products. But Syngenta, I think Arkansas forced them to sell that land. Yeah. So China no longer has that. And, and we got some good friends that work for Syngenta. And because, again, I buy from them. And they came and they were like, man, their pushback was, because at first it's like, yeah, man, let's get this Chinese bastards out of here. But the guys that work at Syngenta, he's like, dude, if you came to our Syngenta plant, every person there is like me and you. He said, we're all like good old boy Americans, like blue collar, hardcore American.
But they're working for the Chinese.
Yeah. Well, and they are. I mean, that's.
Which I think China owns, is it Smithfield Foods or?
Oh, really? The bacon?
Of course, JBS owns so much.
Yeah.
They're Brazilian owned, and Brazil.
They're the ones. I want to start a mafia and get into the meat packing and go against them.
Man, that they have that.
They do. Yeah, we've talked. They've been in prison and stuff.
Oh yeah,
haven't they murdered people?
I mean, I would be shocked if there has not been anybody that they've had offed.
Yeah.
But like paying off, like bribery, which I mean,
jerking off.
They'd probably do that too. Yeah. At least while they were in prison, which I don't know. I would imagine their prison sentence may have been something, kind
very
of
white collar,
or kind of similar to shoot, I've read all the books about him. The big Colombian.
Pablo Escobar.
Yeah, Pablo. Whenever he went to prison, it was basically like a luxury. Yeah, like he built it.
Yeah,
like he paid for it and everything. It was not what you think of when you think of somebody going to prison.
No, you ever anybody that's been like maximum security?
No, certainly not max security. Yeah,
man,
because I would imagine the ones that go there don't come back out.
Well, they do. I got one guy that did. I'm gonna give you one more side story. When I went to tech school, you meet some interesting characters in tech school, and went to tech school, became a machinist, and there was this dude in there. I'll use his name because it's a common name. His name was Billy, and he was a super nice guy, and he was this like jacked black guy, and he was probably, I don't know, Billy was in his probably late 40s, maybe damn near in his 50s, but he was like a solid slab of muscle. And Billy, I remember he had a tattoo of a devil on his arm. And I'd talk to him in tech school. He's a super nice guy. And say, hey, man, which, I mean, he looked like he'd kill me and like bash my skull in. So I was always like super nice to him. Yeah. I basically learned he probably would kill me and bash my skull in. So like I was really glad that I befriended him. But he had been in prison from the age 17 or 18, so he was in his 40s. He came straight out of prison to tech school. He spent like 20 something years of his life in prison.
Damn.
And he was in an armed robbery, like something, and I can't remember that. I think there was even drugs involved, and the guy that he was with rolled on him. Like Billy was guilty, but then the other dude that was with him also rolled on him. So then he got like a double whammy of sentence. And since it was a like armed robbery, he had a deadly weapon and had a gun, all that. So he went to like a maximum security prison in Mississippi. And yeah, he was there for 20 something years. And like, dude, people were telling me, Billy, when he first came there, like some people be like, dude, what was it like, man? You're the only person I know that's ever been to like legit damn prison. And Billy, man, they said he'd get like quiet and be like, oh man, I'll never forget when I got there. He'd be like, I was only there for a little while. He said, I was out there and they had the yard. And he said, I saw some dude running across the yard. And he said, and his pants were down. He said his whole asshole was ballooned out his ass, like ballooned out. He said somebody done raped him so bad that his asshole had come out. And
prolapse.
Yeah, and there was this big guy in our class, and he was a big white guy, and Billy was like, he looked like you that would always be, you were the ones that always be doing the raping. It'd be guys like you. And the guy was like, oh shit. And he's like, well, I'm not going to try to rape you, Billy. And Billy was like, no, man, but they always look like you. He said, they came after me one night. He said it, and he said after he saw the guy with like the ballooned butt running by, he said he talked to his mom on the phone, and he said, Mama, I'm going to have to do some bad things in here. Because he was like, ain't nobody going to be raping me in prison. And he said you basically had to join a faction. Like, and there was skinheads and all of them. But Billy said that he had a shank. He said, I made a shank. And he said one of the big white dudes comes at him in the bathroom. And Billy said he was in the showers. And he said the dude came at him. And Billy said, I stabbed him in the kidneys. Like, I don't even know how many times, but it was a shit ton of times. Like, it might have been like 45 times. Like, Billy was like, I just kept stabbing him. He said, blood everywhere. And I mean, some people might be like, this dude's full of shit. I believe every word he said. And
Did he kill the guy?
I think he killed him. I don't think any of us had the balls to ask if he murdered him. But like, he said, I left him in the floor. He said, I left. And he said, he was bleeding everywhere. So, I mean, I would say he probably died. But nobody tried to rape Billy anymore. But I know Billy got into it with somebody at tech school. And the guy pulled a knife on Billy.
Oh, shit.
And Billy raised his shirt up, and they said he was just solid abs, but he had like scars on his stomach where he had been shanked. So hell, Billy might have been raping people afterwards. I don't know, but he had scars. And then he told the dude he was going to come back tomorrow and kill him. And he said, I'll be back tomorrow. He said, I'm going to kill you. And he said, I've been to prison. I know what it's like. I'll be all right. And so that other guy, he never came back. the one that was threatening Billy legitimately never returned to tech school.
Yeah.
And they said Billy came, I was not there at this point. Billy came back the next day, and they said he had on flip-flops and like just some athletic shorts. Like, he was literally dressed because he knew he would murder this guy and then go to prison. So I haven't heard about old Billy. That's been 13 or 14 years ago now. Hell, I hope he's straight and narrow. But he was, man, I heard some wild shit from Billy. Again, super nice guy, but
I spent a little time on a prison farm.
Oh, did you?
When I was in vet school, we there's still a working prison farm in East Tennessee, and we would go out there, and we went there 2 or 3 times. I mean, the vet school would go there all the time. I went at least twice.
Did you ever have to fix any prolapsed assholes?
No. It was a dairy, and we would. I'm sure at times there may have been a prolapse getting fixed there, but it was
a cow.
Yeah, we were hanging out. They were as nice as they could be, just like, which they were. I think the ones that were getting to work
probably good behavior
were there. Yeah, right. Because it was a big prison, and just a few of them were out there working. I mean, I say a few.
Did you talk to did you ask any man, what'd you do? Were any of them like, man, I killed a man, I ate his eyeballs? Like, would you?
I mean, there were people there that had murdered. They were there in for murder.
Yeah.
Obviously it, was, and some of them were on the farm.
Yeah.
They'd been there a while and had good behavior, and they were as straight, because like sometimes they get to kind of cutting up with you. I remember one time, I think we were actually semen checking a bull. So, but they were always super polite, but kind of getting to cutting up a little bit about it, and they didn't realize. Well, the female students was there. Oh, they were so like we're sorry, because I guess if
they'd probably get in big trouble.
Like if we had complained, all right, you're off, you're back in the prison. You're not getting out to come work.
What would they say?
Anymore. Oh, I don't remember what we were joking about. Like, because we're collecting semen on this bull. We're using an electro ejaculator. I don't know. You can imagine the basic dude talk. Oh hell. Like, use that, joking about.
Use that on me or something.
Yeah, or something along those lines. But yeah, when they realized there was a female student that was right there within earshot, they were like, "Oh, we're real sorry, we shouldn't have."
I was gonna say, I didn't know if maybe y'all laugh. If you laugh too hard, would they be like, "What are you laughing at?"
we would get we would like eat the lunch with them. Like,
Was it pretty good?
it wasn't bad. It was like
Yeah.
little plate lunches. I don't know if that was what they would always get or if that was just for like out on
Did
the
they
farm.
have TV?
Uh,
I had somebody tell me that
not
prison
like
now
out
is
on
soft.
the farm. Like not. I mean, it was like a legit farm. Except,
Yeah.
you know, there was clearly people there that were in prison uniforms.
Yeah. Man, I don't know. I've never even been to a prison.
I remember there was one. He was about to get out, and they had all these cats because I mean it's a farm. Like,
Yeah.
and they're real kind of soft-hearted in a lot of ways. And like this cat was his, and we took it back to the vet school for him so that his mom could because when he was getting out, like that was, it was his cat.
Yeah.
Because I guess whenever they're like transitioning to getting out, like he's like, I'm not gonna be on the farm for a couple of months as I'm going through that process or whatever.
Yeah.
So we like got the cat back to Knoxville and like linked up with his mom so that
They're soft-hearted.
Whenever he got home, he'd have his cat. Yeah.
Soft-hearted. He's like petting that cat. He's like, man, when I bashed Jerry's brains out of his head and they were splattered on the floor, I
think he was in for like, it was some kind of drug or it may have been, bootlegging. So I don't know. Yeah, it wasn't anything like
Violent crime.
Violent crime. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they were as nice as they could be.
Do they have access to like tools?
Yeah. Oh yeah, those equipment and most of they were like working with the dairy animals, but yeah, obviously that involves all kinds of.
Like I know they could grab a hammer and come after you. I'm sure there's guards around.
I don't even really remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. Well, like you said, for them to be at that point, they got to be like.
They pretty much told us, like, look, these dudes, the last thing they want to do is screw up.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them have been in there a while. They're on good behavior.
I feel weird about being
about to get out.
I feel weird about a chick being in there, though. You think about dudes who've been in there, especially if they've been you've been around a bunch of dudes. If you got like a moderately attractive woman. I remember people used to say in the machine shop, like a chick that's like a 5 on the street was like a 10 in the machine shop.
Yeah.
Because it was literally like a wolf's den of men.
Yeah.
And there was some hideous women in the machining world. Sorry if any of my previous work.
The vet school wasn't too different. I mean, there were definitely some hotties, but it was
slim pickings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my classmates, I missed this for and this was a girl that was saying this, so I guess it made it okay. But she was like, yeah, from a dude's perspective, the odds are good, but the goods are odd.
That's a good saying.
Like, yeah, that's you nailed it pretty much. There's some good-looking women there. Heck, my brother married one of his classmates.
Yeah.
One of my best friends married one of our.
The one I just met.
No.
Okay. No. All right.
No,
Which I had met
one.
him. I want to take it back. I met him at your wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hell, you've been married for like 20 years, so it's been a while.
16. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Let me see if there's anything else I wanted to hit on in here. All right. There is one other thing. There's a supplemental disaster relief coming. Now, this is really an odd thing. This literally just was like, I saw this announced today, and the sign-ups for people that are listening actually start. It will have started when you hear this episode. They start on July 10th, but there's going to be 2 stages. The first one begins July 10th. The second one begins early fall. That's when you can go sign up. It's going to be $16 billion. This is for disasters in 2023 and 2024. So, I don't remember which states. There's a list of states that are not included in this, and Tennessee is not one of the ones that's excluded. So we are included in this. Most of your row crop states are in this thing.
Is it for just drought or
drought? I mean, any emergency.
Any emergency, so
yeah,
any type of catastrophic.
Yeah, but
weather event or anything like that.
I'm gonna tell you, and it's actually $1 billion of it's. Right now, it says $7.8 billion will go to commodity relief, $1 billion will go to livestock release, relief. So I mean, hey, you might get something.
I always get kind of a kick out of this because, like you said, it went back to 23 and 24, which I know, like you've shared, you had a bad year last year, you carried over some debt, and so, right, like somebody like in your situation, you're still going. It could really help you out, but sometimes I'm like, goes all the way back to 2023. Like, how many of those operations have already gone belly up?
Bankrupt, yeah.
And then
It's like, boy, that would have been handy back.
yeah.
But it won't be handy.
Thanks now. Yeah.
It won't be handy because let me tell you, I did a breakdown on what this amount's going to be. Because, I mean, typical. And look, I don't, beggars can't be choosers. So I'm not over here like, well, damn, I need to do a better job on it. But I'm going to tell you, and we've criticized the payment things. Y'all have heard me bitch about payments. But if you're going to do it, I don't understand why you would do it this way. So typical government, they've got to make it as insanely complicated as humanly possible. So like it's the stage 1 is for like insured farms. So I'm an insured, I have insurance. Stage 2 is going to actually include non-insured farms. But to qualify for the payment on stage 2, you have to agree to sign up to 2 years of crop insurance afterwards. So they're kind of locking you in that way. But I have crop insurance, so I'll be able to be in the stage 1. Well, I drew some crop insurance on last year. Still got my absolute plow cleaned, as I shared. And this payment will take, it pays like 90% of basically your crop insurance. I'm going to butcher this, but it pays like 90% of what your crop insurance would pay, minus what your crop insurance already paid, and then it's 35% of that amount. And so it ends up coming out like,
so if you already got a crop insurance payment, do you not get anything?
You're going to get something, but they're going to remove that amount you got from your crop insurance, and then they also give you only a percentage of that amount. And what I figured up, on average, you might get, here, I'll give you the window. On the high end of the spectrum, what I'm figuring up, it's going to be about $20 an acre. On the low end of the spectrum, you're looking at, you might, and I mean, when I say might, there's a good chance that you might get this lower number, about $5 an acre.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, I know beggars can't be choosers, but I'm like, what is the point? What's the point of that? I mean, you're talking like a guy like me, I might get $5,000. I mean, like, what is that even going to do?
Yeah.
Hell, $5,000, shit, I might as well go on vacation. I mean, like, because it ain't even going to make any bit of difference on the actual debt
you're carrying, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, well, that covers the interest for a month. Like, yeah. I mean, it's like, I just don't understand.
Yeah.
And there's some people that are saying, some of the people that are, like, raising hell about this, they're like, they're saying the same thing. They're like, well, what's the point? And some of them are like, this is posturing. Like, it's like almost them being like, well, look, we're giving the farmers,
yeah,
we're giving them $16 billion.
Right, yeah, right. It's all about, giving you a pat on the back to say, look, we care about you guys.
Yeah, here's $16 billion. But then when you break it down, it's like, okay, wow, man, I might get $5,000 or something. I mean, and again, I mean, I'm not trying to sound like an ass. I mean, I guess something's better than nothing, I guess, but it just don't make a lot of sense. Like, if it's to be relief for the loss, why would you not? I mean, honestly, it needs to be a greater amount. I mean, it just to be blunt about it.
Right.
Like, really, if the government honestly was like, all right, we want to help these guys. I mean, I've shared on here many times that about $150 an acre is pretty standard. I mean, I've talked to people in other states. You're talking about $150 an acre loss. Now, I don't expect the government to be like, we're going to pay $150 an acre for all these, because, man, if you split that up across all the farms, that's going to be an absolute shit ton of money. I mean, it probably wouldn't come out to what we spent in Ukraine, but it would be a lot of money. But, I mean, I would honestly think they'd be like, all right, we're going to give, I don't know, $75 an acre. We'll like split the difference. If 150 is the national average loss, we'll split it. We'll do $75 an acre. And I mean, is that going to like completely pull you out of debt? No, but it might loosen the debt enough to where maybe if you were looking to get a loan to cover your carryover, you could cash flow. Like it would tip the scales enough where you could cash flow to, I don't know. I mean, that's kind of what I thought. I'm like, man, it's just, if it was truly there for relief, I feel like it needs to be greater.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I got a note here. Spotify. Or actually, hold on, the big beautiful bill. They did raise, oh crap, I don't have it wrote down on here. Higher guaranteed prices and payments. I think I don't know if they've actually released the amount, but there is speculation. They're going to actually elevate ARC and PLC. That's the two like safety nets on the markets. And from my understanding, they're raising the amount. Currently, beans are like, I think $8 and something is the safety net on them. From what I saw today, and again, I don't know if this is true, it said that window or the floor was going to be raised to $10. Like if the market goes below $10, it'll trigger a payment. Bean or corn, I don't remember what it was on corn, but it gets actually pretty darn close to basically where the prices are right now. If they go below where they are right now, it'll trigger an ARC PLC payment. And then even one of the things was saying that they may make it where you receive whichever pays the higher amount. Because right now you have to sign up for either ARC or PLC. Some years ARC pays better, some years PLC pays better. A lot of years neither of them pay anything. So like you're not even guaranteed anything. But so there's some changes in that on the big beautiful bill. But my last frustration with USDA is those wiener heads are saying that we're going to have another record corn crop. They've said it's 181 acres or 181 bushels per acre that are forecast on the corn.
Yeah.
Our corn prices and everything have been just going in the shitter because they keep saying, oh man, it's going to be record yields again. And it's really frustrating for us in our area because, and I know why they base it off this, it's because Iowa and those places are apparently the corn looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
So they're expecting record yields there. But like here in West Tennessee, and in Arkansas, and in Mississippi, and in Missouri, there's guys that are like leaving ground out. Like I'm leaving some ground out. There's a lot of guys leaving ground out because they had to plant corn on it. And man, it just, to me, it's like that's gonna kill it has to kill our supply. I mean, I know we aren't the big producers like Iowa is, but it frustrates the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Because USDA just keeps raising that thing like, oh yeah, it's going to be a record year. It's like, man, I don't think it's going to be a record year here.
Yeah. Yeah, but you're right. The amount of corn we grow here just does not matter.
No. It's frustrating as hell. All right, let's see here as we kind of draw down. I got a Spotify comment. Oh man, where was it? I think it was on Spotify. We do have a couple. Dang it. The guy wrote to you specifically. Was it on YouTube? Have you looked? Let's see.
I hadn't seen anything on there. Now I usually look like when I'm uploading the video, so it's been.
It is
4 or
on
5
YouTube.
days. Okay.
All right. So on our latest YouTube episode, Colt writes in and he said, I was bush hogging on the 4th and listening to the podcast. I was so repulsed to hear that Bobby Lee watches soccer, I nearly threw my phone under the bush hog. Just kidding. I won't threaten to quit listening like that other guy did over the Israel-Iran issue. Love the show. Yeah, and I read...
Yeah, we got beat by Mexico in the Gold Cup final.
Oh, man.
Which we were playing basically our B team.
Yeah.
And I don't think Mexico necessarily was, so whatever. I did not lose sleep over that result.
Well, I just saw it. I thought that was a hilarious one or comment. Hold on, I got to respond to him. Colt, I'm responding to you right here. Now again, see guys, y'all comment on our stuff. You might get us. We might read it on air. Might even respond to you in like. I would say live, but when they're listening to this, it's actually not live.
Yeah.
Maybe one day we'll do a live one. I think we've asked if y'all would want us to do that, and I don't remember if anybody said hardly anything. Somebody did say bad boy mowers are made in USA.
I thought you covered that.
I may have.
Yeah.
Because they're one of my, I've got a bad, you do too. We both have bad boy mowers.
No, I've got an X-Mark.
That's right. That's right. And then another guy wrote in, this was on Spotify. He said, Alabama here. It's a hose pipe. Feels too Yankee to call it a garden hose for some irrational, unknown reason.
I call it a water hose. I don't call it
a garden hose. Sounds Yankee.
Yeah, it does. That's
Bring me that garden hose. I say a water hose.
Yeah, water hose is 100% what we call it.
Yep. Bring a water hose.
I've never called it a hose pipe other than when I was like mocking my wife.
Again, if I said a hose pipe, like we've already covered this, but I think of a rigid pipe. I'm thinking like a PVC pipe.
Yeah.
I've never said a garden hose. I don't think I've ever in my life called it a garden hose. A garden hose.
No, I think garden hose makes a whole lot more sense than hose pipe.
I do too.
But no, I don't call it a garden hose. It's a water hose.
Yep, water hose. Yeah, I drank out of ours just the other day. I still drink out of a water hose.
I do it all the time.
That's like a big no-no. When we planted pumpkins the other day, I drank out of the water hose. And it was refreshing. It was so cold. All right. Do you got a company tonight?
I do have one.
Okay, let me see if I can cue up the main. Hey, I'm making hard cider.
I knew you were making cider. I didn't know you were making it hard.
Well, I can't even think of anything good to say there.
I was about to say.
That's what she said. I don't know. Shit, you made me lose my train of thought.
I kind of did.
Yeah.
In all seriousness, how do you make it hard cider?
Well,
how do you make cider, period? I know you have to squeeze the apples, put them in your press or whatever.
I got that chopper. You saw it the other day when y'all came to the store. I take apples. I bought 60 pounds of apples, and then I chop them up into fourths, and then I chunk them into the crusher, and it's got a hand crank on this crusher that I got, and you crush them up, and it cuts them into little bitty, like, small pieces, and it, like, even will squeeze some juice out of them. Like, you'll have some juice in the bucket, and I have, like, clean 5-gallon buckets underneath there, and then I dump that into my press. That press has a bag, like a mesh bag in there.
To filter out all the fiber,
Yeah, and then you put I've got these covers that go on top, and then blocks, and then literally I got a big, it's like I don't know what you'd even call it, but it screws down on top, and it's got an arm that sticks into it, and you just crank it around, and man, you just pull that, like, or just tighten it down as hard as you can. I mean, and by the time you get it down there, this press, it'll be full. It's a 5-gallon bucket size. It'll be completely full. By the time you press it all the way down, it'll press it down. I don't know. It'd be like a gallon bucket. Like, it presses the shit out of there.
I was going to say, how much apple juice do you get out of 60 pounds of apples?
I got 3 gallons.
3 gallons.
Yeah.
So then you've just got apple juice.
And it is awesome. Like, it's technically considered cider. Because I got to looking at that, like, true cider is like unpasteurized apple juice. Like, it's like raw.
That's all it is. It's just unpasteurized.
And so last year I did this.
So it becomes juice just after you pasteurize it,
Yeah, because whenever it's not pasteurized, dude, it's even kind of thick. Like, it tastes awesome. Like, it's got more apple flavor, and it's got a little bit of a texture to it. And I put some in jars last year, and I water bathed them because I was like, well, I want to make them shelf stable. I water bathed them, and then whenever I drank them, they tasted just like apple juice. It had the heat of the water bath basically pasteurized it, and it lost its like cider effect. So this year I was like, man, I'm gonna try to make some hard cider, because I had some that I just experimented a bunch. I had some last year I didn't even refrigerate, and it actually, like, it got a nasty looking thing on top of it. I still got it in the jar, but when you open it, it smells like it doesn't stink. It smells like alcohol, and it's like if you ever seen the apple cider vinegar and it says with the mother, you know what I'm talking about, the stuff they call the mother. Well, I've got some actual mother on like some apple cider, and I'm even thinking about doing some more and you put it in a crock, and you can make apple cider vinegar, and you let it get that layer on top, and that's called the mother. But for the hard cider, I just took it. I had some man, I don't even know what they call them, the glass gallon jugs. They're like, they got the little little hole for the finger, and it comes up, and then I had airlocks and everything because I was going to try this last year. So the other day after I pressed them, man, you got to sterilize everything. And I had some sterile star sand, I think is what I used. Sterilized everything, and you dump them in there, and then you put some yeast. I had 2 different kinds of yeast. I put some in one, like a D47, and then a D118 or D1118 in another one. Oh man, it's I think it's awesome. Like, I put them in my pantry back there. I got my airlocks in there, and I put a little vodka in the airlocks so that it like, they're made where the air can come out. It's like an S-shaped thing. You put some vodka in it to where it fills up the little bottom of the U, and the air bubbles can come up and they bubble out. But with it being vodka, it's like basically sterilized, so nothing dirty can get into the airlock and come back inside there, but it allows you to have stuff come out. And I mean, man, that thing is like, they're super active. Like, I go in there, it'll be just, it's like fizzing constantly, and just up there in the airlock, it's just steadily little bubbles bubbling through the airlock. And I got to age it I think about a month. That's how long.
I made beer one time.
Really? Was it pretty good?
It was not bad. It was like a Mr. Beer kit. I won it like in a Dirty Santa.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, hell, this was before we had kids. We were married. And yeah, I don't remember the entire process, but yeah, I mean, it took a few weeks.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was okay. I mean,
yeah.
It wasn't worth all the trouble, and then by the time you bought all the shit, like,
you've spent way more than you would.
Like, yeah, I can go buy a 6-pack for what it cost me to make all this.
Well, it's just a cool process. Like, it's cool just to see it kind of happening. I mean, and I don't know, I'm anxious to try this when it gets done. I don't know that I've ever really had hard cider. I know there used to be a place in like Rosemark or somewhere, I think, that would serve hard cider.
Oh yeah, they had all kinds.
Was it gin or something?
No, what was the name of that place? Yeah, it was right there in Barrettville.
Yes,
the Barrettville Country Store or whatever.
Yes,
I don't remember if that's what they called. Yeah, they had all kinds of stuff. Yeah, you could go in there and you get like the what do they call it? You get like a flight of like 6 different ciders to try. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I can't remember what they called that place, but yeah, it. I don't know. It was. I'm fascinated by the process. You know, I'd love to make. I mean, I'd love to make whiskey. I know it's illegal. You know, I was sharing earlier, I guess, my outlaw desires. So maybe this hard cider might be like my gateway drug into.
I know plenty of people that, you know, just make a little moonshine just for the hell of it. You know, they're not even selling it.
I told on
some
here.
Of them do sell a little. But.
I told on here about the people that brought us some for pulling them out one time with the tractor. Yeah. Tell about that.
Yep.
Man, because it burned a blue flame. It was awesome. How can I find our Joe Biden? Our Joe Biden. Where is Joe Biden? Trying to find our thing on here.
I can go back to the old-fashioned way.
Shit, you might have to. Oh man, that worked out really good. Where did I got to put it in a separate file where I can find it easily. But yeah, it's a cool process seeing it. Like I said, it really is fizzing up. I did overfill them. Like, I won't fill it up quite as high as I did this time. Like, I've noticed it because some of the here it is. I got it. Some of the stuff like actually fizzed all the way up into the airlock. So obviously I don't want that to happen. But all right, here you go. You ready?
Let me start off with 2 words: made in America.
All right, what you got?
So, talking about my weird diet and everything, have you ever tried the Wild protein chips?
I don't guess I have.
It's WILDE.
Okay.
They're actually, I believe it's chicken and like egg, but they're like potato chips. They taste. I mean, I don't know. I don't eat a lot of potato chips anymore, but they taste really good. Like, about like a potato chip. Because I do crave stuff like that. Well, like we were talking about eating burgers.
Yeah.
Chicken breast, egg whites, and chicken bone broth. They come in all kinds of little different flavors.
They got the consistency of a chip.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like eating a Lay's potato chip, but it's close, and it's
wildly delicious protein chips.
Yep.
Well, I've kind of like come to that conclusion when I would try to. I would go through random spurts where it's like, I'm going to try to eat better with this or eat better with that. And you have to quit trying to compare things to other things. Like if I would eat a bread that was like a healthy bread, I had to go into it with the expectation that this is not going to be Wonder Bread.
The longer and I'm not full keto by any stretch, but the longer like I do crave some sweets sometimes, but
Cravings are going away.
Yeah, and like I don't miss bread that much, other than like I'd really love to have a Reuben with that, with the all sauerkraut, and I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna. It's a pain in the ass to like make those chaffles and all, but like I don't like when I ate a burger, like I don't even think about getting a bun. Like
you miss your milkshakes.
Maybe at times, but like I'll mix me up another Made in USA product, Dimetize. Like cookies and cream. It's milk. And actually, as I say that,
gonna get you one when you get home.
I might have a protein shake before bed tonight.
Those taste great.
Oh man, it's like dessert.
It is. I mean, they taste great.
I buy some of the keto friendly cereals. Like if I'm wanting a little dessert kind of thing after supper, I'll eat a little of that.
Man, I have a voracious sweet tooth.
I used to, man, my daughter the other night, we had our friends in town. The kids, and my daughter really is, she's 11. She'll bake, and she made brownies the other night.
Oh, Kimber will bake.
Oh man, and I nibbled at them. Thankfully, because we had guests over and everything, they were all gone. I was like, please don't leave those. A hot brownie straight out of the oven with a big dollop of vanilla ice cream. I miss that. That or a cookie, like one of those skillet cookies. With,
yeah. I was going to tell you
that's the thing. That's probably why I'm pre-diabetic. Is we used to me and the kids, we would make cookies like probably 2 or 3 times a week.
Oh really?
We'd make a batch. We'd get just the easy one where you like just open the bag.
I love those.
Throw a stick of butter and an egg in, and just mix it up and throw them in the oven. I bet at least twice a week, because we'd make a batch. It takes about 3 days to eat them. Then we make another batch.
So you always had cookies on hand.
Pretty much. And like every night I was eating cookies and ice cream. Whether it was chocolate chip or peanut butter. Oh man,
Dude, that's what so our Friday night ritual, we sell eggs. I give a shout out to one of our local companies, Mount Zion, the bakery up here in Munford. If anybody's listening that's near this area, I highly recommend going to Mount Zion. And we sell the eggs to them. Well, every Friday night we get pizza. Like Friday night's kind of our just movie night. We order a pizza, and I swing by Mount Zion, and she makes these. I mean, everything she makes is good, but she just makes these killer chocolate chip cookies. They're huge, and they're always fresh. But when I get home, I'll eat one, and I always go stick it in the microwave for about 12 seconds just to make it like even more like hot, kind of gooey. Dude, I have a problem when it comes to those things. But luckily for me, she's only open right now on like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And so, I force myself, I only will go on Friday. And I'll usually get myself 2 cookies. I'll have one Friday night, and I'll either eat the next one either Saturday or Sunday. And besides that, Marcy doesn't make sweets because I would eat them all the time. And so I eat a Mount Zion cookie usually 2 nights a week, and that's about the extent of it, because I would literally, if dessert is around me, I'm gonna eat that shit. Like I love dessert, man. I got a killer sweet tooth. I mean, my dad probably has a milkshake every night. He probably has a milkshake every night for the last 40 years of his life.
He does a homemade one?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'll do that sometimes, man. Just take the vanilla ice cream, put it in a cup, dump some milk on it. Sometimes I'll put a little vanilla in there, mix it up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that I would miss that pretty bad. But like you said, the Dimetize, their protein shakes are delicious. I mean, they taste great.
Yeah, I'm gonna have one when I get home.
Yeah. You look sad. Are you sad right now as we're talking about this?
Not really.
Sparking up some
Not
hard
really, man.
memories.
I ate a bunch of protein for dinner, and so
well, that sticks with you.
Yeah, kind of satisfies you, and so
it does. Well, all right, guys. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Need you to do a couple things. First, I want some feedback on this one. And look, hey, if you're still with us right now, I want to know if you have outlaw fantasies. I'm not asking you to commit or to admit to a crime that you've committed. But if you're listening to the show and you're like, by God, I think about robbing a bank every day. Like, I want you to tell me. Like, you're not admitting guilt. This is all fantasy land. So let us know. I'd love to hear it. Like, I don't think that I'm the only renegade insane man here. So let us know that. Go to talkdirtpodcast.com, contact page, submit that on there, comment on our YouTube, comment on our Spotify. Let us know what you think. And also leave us those ratings and reviews, 5 stars, everywhere you can listen, and hit that like button, hit subscribe.
Agzaga.com, all the good stuff. Everybody's right in the middle of baling season. If you're like me, you're between first and second cutting. You probably need another roll of net wrap. You won't beat their price. You won't beat their selection. You won't beat the free shipping when you use that discount code TalkDirt20. It takes $20 off and gets you the free shipping. Check out all the selection and all the other. They have a million other things we can never list.
Yep.
If you need something, you're thinking about it, check them out first. And yeah.
There you go. All right, guys. We'll catch you next week.
Yep, we'll be right here.